Right, back here. Welcome, you guys. This is part two of my off the cuff, my from the soul holistic take, not sharing videos, not going into any thoughts of conspiracy and why this is happening. I may do that later. That was my first plan. And I got alone. Wife went and did some things, really got to spend some alone time. And I started just really like listening. And I started thinking about some things. And one person that really impacted me with this thought, I don't know if you've ever heard of him, 19 Keys. He said some things that made me go, And I started really thinking about it. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And then especially about everything is for technologies, raising technology. In fact, somebody had shared a video with me showing this guy created a. I'm going to share two technology creations that I seen in the last 24 hours. This one would be again, it was like a scooper of people, and he showed it. The scientist made it. I'll rethink of what it is and relook at it and share it with you guys in a future video. But what he was doing was, or even share it, the machine would go up and scoop up people and then take them into this thing. It had a connection where the body slid up and dead bodies, and it's like the person that did the video when I seen it and mentioned who created it, and I'm like, wow, what's the expectations of when you talk about, one of the things we know that they mentioned is depopulation. And I thought about that. So inhumane, but all technology. So don't worry about the body and the person. To me, it would be something used for war, or if you expect just a lot of people to be dead. Yeah. Then this other technology popped up. Somebody else shared with me and showed this how this works. And what it was it was sound vibration frequencies, the machine that somebody had created, and he made a fire. He went over to the fire with the machine, clicked it, vibration, and the vibration did this, put the fire out. Now that would be assisting humanity. The other one I mentioned first with picking up dead bodies when, not people, scooping them up like they're freaking a spatula, flipping an egg and throwing maybe a burnt egg in the trash can or your um, garbage disposal with no care, no heart, no soul, just technology doing whatever it followed up doing. Why these people are dead, and why would you make something unless you think there's going to be a lot of dead people laying around, like a war or whatever. And then the next one was somebody um, actually sitting there, taking what they created, frequency and vibration technology, going to a fire, pressing the button, frequency came out, and the fire just went, whoop, no smoke. Not like dumping water leaves smoke. Almost like, have you ever dumped salt to put out the fire? It doesn't leave smoke, right? Um, and I'm like, wow, this is subservient to people, assisting people. The other was replacing people and had no feelings, no sentience. And this is what we have to, I really think, is we need to get back to our sentience as humans, whatever frequency you're on. The feeling here in Los Angeles is down and out and hopelessness. And this really matches what happened during COVID with this area, where you've seen people just hopelessness, tearfulness, having no joy, low frequency, low vibing, living in grief. You lost your pet, maybe you lost. There's last report I heard there's 10 humans. I don't believe that. I believe there's more humans died than that, and that may come out or they may hide it. You're dealing with them that have the power of things we think are important, which is information. When you have information and then the information is backed with your agenda or your intentions and your agenda, and there's a word I'm missing, I'm trying to put in instead of agenda, you paint the of what you an intention, but it's not that word. Hopefully, in this video, will come to me. There's a certain word I'm looking for. I'm not catching. But anyways, now, ching ching. We're technology. Our brain and everything kind of works like technology. Memories, frequencies, vibes, vibrations. But the difference between machinery and AI and us is our sentience, our soul, are able to get and change with energy, able to change in a minute and be flexible, where machines can't be. They can't. Well, call your AI or go on AI when something doesn't work in your computer system and they send you notes. Oh, it could be this, 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 this. And you go, it's none of them. It's not flexible. It can't talk to you about communicate with me and we can talk and work this out. That's not there. Humans are way more advanced than computers because you have heart, soul, and what comes with that, and the emotional aspect of it that they don't have. They can fake the funk, but they're faking the funk. They're not playing the funk. It's being honest. But we as a whole need to surrender into ourselves, into a unity consciousness, and drop all the stuff they put before us and they keep us divided. Race, gender, religion, all the stuff. Liberals, Democrats, conservatives, all these labels and labels and labels and entanglements that keep us separated from ourselves and keep us separated from each other through paradigms of things that happen. Because the reality, there's a lot of good people that are like, somebody had asked me, I had said something and said, well, how do you feel if you say that about another person, another color, they're going to call you racist? And I'm like, I'm not racist. If you know me, I'm not racist. I can prove that. How? I can prove it. I definitely can prove it through my children, I can prove it with my wife, I can prove it with stepchildren. I'm not, and I can prove it with myself. I may look skin color a certain color. Man, this guy's got, I'm freaking, my daddy's Mexican. Yes, passed away, Mexican, looks Mexican. My mom's Scottish, Irish, and Native American, and my dad is too. But that I can't find that tribe because all the people from our indigenous Mexico is indigenous too. The Mexican now is a Spanish and Mexican mix, or a Spanish indigenous mix, and Spanish is a European language. A lot of people don't know that. Oh yeah, we're talking. No. You're speaking a European language now that you brought into your country. It's probably a bunch of slang of European or Spanish, but it is. What am I saying? We've been in a mixing for a long time. It's about frequency, vibration, and love, because your soul, spirit, and who you are outside this meat suit are the same. It's a meat suit. It's a physical, temporal body. It's like your cars. Your car is not you, but it is. This is the paradox of the. When I say that's paradoxal, how's it paradoxal? Because it is, but it isn't. It is you now, but it's really not your soul, because your soul's not your name. And I can go deep in this. What I'm saying is we need to be unified as one, folks, because that's what's going to bring the harmony for the change that we need. Not all the divisions or playing the I'm telling you, when you go start looking at frequency, playing the victim is one of the lowest frequencies you have. Because when you create that frequency, it has to have a perpetrator. Has to, because everything's a dual plane in this way. So if you're playing the victim, there has to be a perpetrator. So you create your own perpetrator when you keep playing the victim. It's about taking responsibility of yourself, your beliefs, and what you do. And playing the victim will never serve you. It will downplay you and lower your vibration, and you won't raise it, staying in the victimhood mentality. And we all are. I even thought about this, how knowing a lot of people that I know and being raised the way I was raised with multiple racial people. I was raised in a place in Southern California at a time from my hometown, Merced, which is in Central, where I left Central California, get this, in Merced, and lived in the West Side. I never knew it was the hood. My grandparents lived there on my mom's side, who looked Caucasian, but my grandma's got Native American. I never thought we were poor. I didn't know what poor was. We had a house, we had meals every day, we loved each other, and that to me was everything. And then I moved to, my mom gets married, remarried. We moved to Chino in Southern California, and I go to school. Here's the difference. I left the hood. I went to school with Mexican and black kids and a few Asians. I don't remember there that time there was many Asians there. I go to Chino, and the part of Chino we lived in, which I learned to do work that was, which I appreciate now, which I didn't so much appreciate even as a teen and a young, I liked a little younger, but as a teen, I kind of got away from it. Was I learned, I was around farm, I was around cattle, I milked cows when I was 8, 9 years old in Chino, California, in SoCal, yes, because SoCal was different then too. But I went to school with a bunch of Caucasian kids, and when I went there, I was like, "Where's all my, where's all the blacks and the Mexicans at?" I'm being honest. That's what I said because that's what I was raised in as a young boy going to school where I was raised at before. And I went there at 9. I adapted, definitely adapted. And that's the thing we have. We have adaptability too. That's why we need to learn to adapt. There's some people, it doesn't matter what they look like that, but don't prejudge them. We need a unity. We don't need to let the dividing factors keep dividing us. Dividing us minimizes our effectiveness as a whole. Because once we go into collective consciousness, none of this will matter of the divisions. There's different, we'll look at differentiation as your authenticity instead of something that's negative that I don't have. It's like I look at somebody who's skilled with this spiritually and somebody who's skilled with being a writer, and they're a great writer. Like my wife, she's a great writer, and some other people I know who are really good writers. And I'm like, God, I'm envious that I can't write like that because I can't. I know I can't. I never have been able to write like that. And then they turn around and say, well, I'm kind of been envious of you. And I go, why? God, you're really awesome. They go, because I can't speak like you can in group settings or amongst people because you just flow with it. I said, but I can't write like you. The differentiation is accepted, not villainized, because we've come to a unity that I need you, you need me, and we're one. When I see you, I see me. When you see me, you see you. It doesn't matter what we look. We need just to understand that we need to get connected to nature and to unity and to everything that's one instead of taking instructions for them who are not really there for our best interest. They're the system, politics, blue bloods. It's all about technology. They will destroy something like a city for an agenda through an element called fire, which is a cleansing, and then build over it, but don't realize what you built over had a story. Where nature recognizes that story that you built over, which could be thousands of years older, because I'm sure it's rebuilt over and over and over. This is how this would work. If it's going to, one of the things it said is this was all about making smart cities. But we also know that that's not what us that are awakened and want freedom, we ain't about you dictating to us anymore. We need, if we woke up unified, that whole monopoly would fall. It would not exist. And we can go there within ourselves and be these creators by choosing minute by minute our mindset. But we get distracted with the volume of distraction pushed in to take us off our frequency and mindsets, to worry about stuff that's unworryable or start blaming other people when it's a bunch of people that are blaming. When you're set up there and you blame, and I am guilty of it living in California, I mean, I can be taken to the shadow with Gavin Newsom. I mean, as soon as I seen that guy, I'm like, I discerned him. I said, this guy is not good. But these are puppets. These are actors in a play. One more time. These are actors in a play just to get your attention. The whole world's a stage. It's about us admiring, but reconnecting with nature, because nature never treated us wrong. It has its stuff that you have to deal with, the yin to the yang of it. If you go live in the forest, you better know how to survive in the forest, because at nighttime they'll come out and eat you. It's just nature, right? But the nature, frequency, and the vibration told in ancient stories about other things and any beings appearing from other dimensions that were loving, some not, but some supporting and some not. But the frequency and vibration and the rebooting and the rebooting into this frequency of the earth and Mother Nature is the first program, is the first program. And what that does, it doesn't create a division. You know why? Because nature creates a unity because it's Mother Nature, and mothers will always bring all the children unto her, embrace them. Doesn't matter what the children look like, the mother will always embrace into unity and love and frequency. When the division comes, it's always to what can we take from the earth for our technologies? What can we get from Mother? What can we take from Mother? What can we steal from Mother? How can we disharmonize from the people so Mother doesn't communicate with them? And we think they're doing good for us, and they are not doing anything. And we still have this mindset about some people, and I'm talking overall. Some of you guys are in higher consciousness, understand this, and I get this. But I'm seeing even us in higher consciousness, there's a lot of playing and divisions within higher consciousness in the higher consciousness community. I've seen it, known it, and discerned it. Nobody had to tell me when you're sitting up there, Zuckerberg's on your show and your show and your show, and then I know BC was on your show and your show, that these are the incidents you're pushing, that there's not an agenda tied to you. I don't buy it, don't buy it, don't buy it when you're making millions and millions of dollars because you signed a contract. It's that simple. You sold it, whether you know it or not, and I believe that many of them know it. I think the reboot is for us to really start realizing that we need harmony amongst the people, because this is the kind of stuff you get when you believe in them who you think rule you, the mints. You get your house burnt down, you get froze out in another place, you get a hurricane in another part of the country because they don't love you. It's all about getting what they can from the land and stripping the land of its resources, because it's about their technology, their love of their God of technology, and the love of the money, because it says in God we trust in the dollar bills. Why? This is the God they trust because it's in a trust. Your birth certificate's in this trust. These are not what you think they are at all. Both sides. And I even had to cast myself down a little bit in my thinking. Living in this state made me freaking hate liberals. It did. I was done with this BS because they destroy the state. But not that the other side is necessarily better, because all you have to go is too far right, and you got the same dance partner in the same thing. Because it's not about the reason it's called politics. It's a poll. Paul is poll. It's politics. They can tell you all day, oh, I went to political science. It's a pole. I'm going to break it down deeper, just like that. It's pole, meaning it's an energetic field. When you have the pole has two sides. That's why you have left and right party. It's never about a third party, which would be balance, harmonization in the middle. It's always us against them, but guess what? They're related. They're bloodline related. The left and the right are bloodline related. Yes, Obama's Trump's cousin, probably maybe 16, 20 times removed, but they're the same bloodline. Do your homework if you don't know this. This is facts. They are. 11-year-old girl did her research and proved it. 15 years ago or 12 years ago, proved it. Actually, she didn't see the problem with it. She went to the government and said, look what I found out. And then they put it up. I think it's at the White House or something, all put up like it's some monument. But she didn't see, of the 11-year-old, that this was a sign that you're getting, or we see, this is a sign you ran game and lied to us because you're really blue bloods, and blue bloods never stopped. Not in America, never stopped. It was just the carryover of the same system. Some may have intended to get out to run away from it, but them who had the bull by the horns didn't. They continued, right? So what am I saying? I've said a lot today. I mean, I think combined both videos we're over 45, pushing 50 minutes, which I can do. But we need a unity. But so back to this. We had the repentance of taking away our freedom of speech. We had all these presidents at another president's uh, funeral talking and laughing like they're best buddies when they're supposed to be opponents with different ideologies. Totally different ideologies. For me, if this was real and this was real and Trump's holding these beliefs that he says, why would he talk to Obama? You know, he's a commie. He pushed commies' agendas because the whole world's a stage. It's a Truman Show. We need to find the unity of the Truman Show, because that Joker walked off the stage, walked off the simulation, walked out of the system. He said he started seeing. What did Truman start seeing? He started seeing synchronicities that he lined up and said, this is something I'm seeing. Notice 10-12, Betty Joe walks across the street. He was using this to show that. And then he started having the synchronicities, seeing these things, and he started awakening to the system till eventually he said bye-bye, and his end game was walking off the stage, walking off the whole world's a stage. He realized there's a song by The Who in the early 80s called, how's it go? It goes, it's a put on, meaning eminence front. It's a put on. It's a put on. That's why back in the day was Francis Bacon, the whole world's a stage. The whole world's a stage. And the movie, so you have this going on, and then you have the fires going on. And if you know the truth, Obama, Biden, and all of them, they're buddies with Newsom. Well, Trump attacks Newsom and says it's your fault, you need to resign, but they're all related. They're running game on us for division, and it's not the truth. It's not the truth. They're not fighting against the World Economic Forum, Trump, that right side, saying, no, it ain't happening here in the U.S. It will happen. This is part of how it's happening. But they make us get caught up in the Hollywood aspect of all this. Oh, even the Stars house burned down. The Stars got okey doke, because as much as the politicians are puppets, what do you think the Hollywood movie stars and musicians, all these that play music, they sign contracts, they're puppets. They're nothing but puppets played by their puppet master, because they what did they get out of it? A lot of "in God we trust" money. That's what they got out of it. We need to see clearly. Thus, or it's called regular people, you're not the regular people. They ride your backs, all of our backs, for our energy to use our projectors for the energy and the new ways they want to create by using us for us. And them who fall for the okie doke really fall for the okie doke in the lower realms, unconsciousness or lower consciousness, 3D reality. Hope you're not a 1 and 2D succubus. I believe they're succubuses, even the politicians, because they're really trying to suck your energy or make the energy so the real succubus can start sucking and fleecing you for your energy, because that's the whole story about Loosh. They want to eat your negative energy, Loosh. And that's going back to, I watched that show with the 3 witches, and this demon was there talking to them, and he goes, oh, I love your fear because I eat it. And I go, ooh, he's telling the truth. When you understand truth, he's telling you they don't want your money. They want your energy. Energy is the valuable thing here. And it was said in this episode, and I go, ooh, they're speaking some truth there. Which these movies and TVs tell you way more truth than the news does. The news is just freaking propaganda university. NBC, ABC, CNN, all of them, unless you get some independents. And the independents are mostly showing you everything the Democrats do that was wrong, which is true, but it's only half the truth. And every truth is only half truth until you get the other side. That's why they say every story has the other side of the story of the two people involved, right? That's an old saying. So what I really am here want to inspire from you guys is not to fall for okie dokes, bananas in the tailpipes. We need a unity, and we need to stay in our space of creativity and power, because all this is about distractions. We need to empathize and help people that are in situations, whether it was in North Carolina where all the hurricanes were, because while we're burning here, the other side of the nation is being froze out. I got some my friends that are brethren that are in Choctaw Nation telling me they just got 5, 6, 7, 8 inches of snow, and I'm like, that you don't get snowed that much in Oklahoma. It's usually just cookie dusters when you do, and they go, yeah, it was big, and and everybody's freaking out because they're getting something they're not used to getting. And I said, infrastructure's not made for it, huh? And he goes, nope. He goes, I'm prepared. He's an old military guy, older than that. Shout out to Jimmy. Um, um, the unity we could bring together is the creativity that this is how we change things and start changing the reality through the unity of us all instead of the dividing of us. And we still can get harmony, because if one or two come together, that's powerful, right? If we can harmonize and create the unity meeting and the oneness together. Let me check my time. I got about 3.5 minutes by this, so I'm gonna start winding down. But you guys know I was planning to bring share screens on what their plans are, and something to me said, come from your soul first. So I'm going to have a 1 and 2 off the cuff. And then I may go into some other stuff, because I got some good stuff written down. I was going to do was a spiritual, but I will follow up probably with some of these videos. But as you know, I just mentioned, here we are. You had the fire, you had the present, you had the funeral, fire funeral, and you had the confession of repentance, funeral, fire. Sounds like a Black Sabbath song. Funeral pyre. Wow, I just seen that. Lining it up, you had the repentance, which weak as water. I mean, that water's not weak. That just anybody with any is just like, yeah, right. You didn't know that you broke constitutional laws when you shut down people's posts. I ain't buying you, buddy. See right through you, buddy. And then I see the funeral, and I'm like, I see through that stuff too. All these guys are supposed to against each other, all loving on each other, and our homeboys, best buds. It's a put on. Ding, 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 ding. That's a song by The Who, the Eminence Front. And then the fire that killed the city of destroying the city of angels. And I'm going to stop there. You guys have a great day.